Hello, Simmers. We're back with some more Cocytus River Rats franchise mode in FHM 11. And in this one, we have the start of the year 5 offseason heading into year number 6. And you take a look at our rosters, you still have Gavin McKenna, a 4-star ability as our best player, hoping he's going to take another step forward this year. Then you have Vananen and Bouchard at 3-star abilities. So some slow progress here, but that was all it was ever going to be, as we have to wait on all of our prospects. But we are starting to get to where we need to be, as we also have, there is Spellquist, who's a 2-star ability, 4.5-star potential. Then you have Frolov in goal, who's only a 1.5-star talent, but had a big rookie season with a 919 save percentage in 54 games played. Then you have Neuenschwander, who I just called up. He's a 2-star ability now. Hopefully he'll make the roster next year, as he has that 4-star potential. 17 getting open, great physical category so far. So we're looking to add on to what we already have with this offseason, which of course is going to happen during the draft, because we can't do it at any other time. And something to note as I go off screen here for a second, we do have 2 first-round picks this year, not only our own, but also San Jose's. And as we take a look at the standings, San Jose finished 24th. So we have 2 lottery picks in the draft this year. And especially considering that this is a draft where there are real players, that is a pretty big pick, as this year's draft class looks absolutely stacked. You have Eriksson, you have Melicheric, you have Wero, all as 4.5-star potentials. Then you have a lot of 4-star potentials as well. This is a big draft. In fact, I might even want to acquire one more first-round pick, although I'm not sure who I would trade to get that. So as we head into the next season, all of these players that you see on this list are going to be released, as we do have a lot of prospects that also need to be signed. So I suppose all there is to do here is sign these prospects and then advance to the last day of the season. And here's our 2028-29 season summary. We met our objective. We did not have a winning percentage lower than 400, and we did not finish last. We had a longevity bonus of 4, meaning our total season score is at 16. Total career scores so far at 53. We have 3 available points. I'll put all of them, of course, into negotiating. All right, here we go. Time for the draft lottery. At number 17, you have Edmonton, followed by Tampa, Buffalo, Seattle, Nashville, Columbus, St. Louis, and your Cocytus River Rats at number 10. Then you have Philly at number 9, and at number 8 will be your Cocytus River Rats. So we pick at number 8 and 10. Then you have Carolina, so Boston moves up. Then you have Calgary, Vegas, the Islanders, the Rangers picking at number 3, Boston at number 2, and LA at number 1. All right, here we go. Let's see who's available for us at number 8. You have, oh, wait a minute. Okay, so this is interesting. Henry Solheim goes first overall to the LA Kings. He is a 4-star potential on the team scouting, 4.5-star on the consensus, 20 puck handle. It looks like he's going to be a pretty good player here. Then you have Gabriel, Wero, Carignan, Melicheric going 5th overall to the Vegas Golden Knights, Liam Kenny and Brando Duncan to the Carolina Hurricanes. But then you have Jens Eriksson, the 4.5-star potential defenseman. Now, it is worth noting that he only has the 2.5-star consensus. Apparently, he's not supposed to go until pick 111. 22 points last year in 35 games played, 63 grade. He may have difficulty performing under pressure. Okay, I mean, that's a concern. I think I see why he did not go in the top 7. All right, there's 2 players I'm looking at here who I'm particularly interested in. The first is Tyson Orr. He was a player who we had in the Hamilton series. He's already a 2-star ability out of the gate, 3.5-star potential, but he has the 4.5-star consensus potential. Got some pretty good ratings in there all around, basically. Pretty good personality. Strongest part of his game is playmaking. He's a good skater. Known for his physical strength, pretty good vision on the ice, above average stamina. Weakest part of his game is his physical play and gets injured a bit more often than you'd like to see. He had 101 points last year in the OHL with Sarnia in 67 games played, 73 grade. I think Tyson Orr might be the guy here with pick number 8. But I was also looking at Blake Baxter, who is a 1-star ability, 3.5-star potential, 4-star potential on the consensus. And he's already got a pretty decent offensive category. His other categories could definitely use some work. However, I love his personality, and I also like that he has a lot of strengths. His strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. He's not somebody who's going to be pushed around. He can handle a lot of playing time. He has a decent on-ice vision and reads the play well most of the time. And his skating is also pretty good. And then there was also one more guy I was looking at, Bella Booz, who's the 1.5-star ability, 3.5-star potential. 18 offensive read already. Good personality. Then the strongest part of his game is playmaking. He has decent stamina. Coaches like his work ethic. Above average skater, pretty good ability to read the play and has some hockey smarts. Weakest part of his game is his physical play. So I like all three of those guys. I think for this first pick, I got to give the edge to Orr. He's just very well-rounded, 2-star ability already. I think he's going to be a very good player. I mean, we've seen him in past save files as well be a very good player. So I think Tyson Orr will be the pick here. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, Tyson Orr. And then Jens Eriksson goes 9th overall to the Philadelphia Flyers. So we'll see what becomes of him. And now on to pick number 10. I am debating between Booz and Baxter still. But just given the fact that we already have Hermanson, we have Stenberg, we have Neuenschwander, we have Tyson Orr now, I think we're going to be taking Blake Baxter here with this pick. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, Blake Baxter. All right, let's simulate up to our next pick in the second round. And there's still 1 3.5-star potential left in Vladimir Mamic. Big game performer, like that. Had 932 save percentage in 2 games played last year. I mean, right now we only have 4 goaltenders in the organization total, so honestly it wouldn't hurt. I don't think this would hurt to take Mamic here. So let's do just that. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, Vladimir Mamic. And on to our next second round pick number 63. There are still 3 5-star potentials left. I might take Marcus Nyberg here just for the potential trade value. He's got that 5-star potential on the consensus, even though his strengths and weaknesses are not exactly in his favor. He has the intangibles, of course, which every goalie has that seemingly, but it's saying that even the best parts of his game are difficult to describe as strengths. But then after that, it says even the worst aspects of his game are still relatively strong. So I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. Yeah, I think we're going to take him. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, Marcus Nyberg. Then on to the third round now, pick 74. I think I'm going to go off the board here a little bit. I'm going to take Cam Voigt, who is a half-star ability, 2-star potential. And none of his ratings look particularly great, except in the mental category with determination and temperament. However, what he does have are intangibles, which is the strongest part of his game. And then he has above average stamina. The weakest part of his game is his physical play, but none of his weaknesses are a serious liability. And he also has a pretty good personality. So I think I will take a chance on Cam Voigt. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats. All right, pick 107 now, and there is one guy left who is on my draft list in Johan Tuomainen. Got that half-star ability, 2-star potential, 3-star consensus. He unfortunately is only an AD scouting grade, so it doesn't seem likely that he'll actually reach his potential, but there is a lot to say about him. The coach has a lot to say about him, or the scout rather, has a lot to say about him on his strengths and weaknesses. Strongest part of his game is his intangibles, above average physical strength, decent stamina. Coaches like his work ethic, above average skater. He has pretty good vision on ice. And then the weakest part of his game is goal scoring ability. Obviously, he's a defenseman though, so not too worried about that. So I think we'll be taking Johan Tuomainen with this pick. All right, pick number 140 now in the 5th round. And it seems we found the son of Rod Brindamore, Brooks Brindamore. And it just so happens that the strongest part of his game is his intangibles, and I do like that, especially for skaters. Pretty good ability to read the play and has some hockey smarts. Above average stamina. Weakest part of his game is his skating. He can be counted on to avoid dwelling on failures, and his game apparently has a dirty side to it. So could be a pretty interesting player to pick up here. 14 hitting, 14 stick checking, some pretty well-rounded attributes. Obviously, he's a little ways away from the NHL, but I think he's looking pretty interesting. So Brooks Brindamore, welcome to the team. On to the 6th round now, pick 173. There are 2.5-star potentials left in Ashton and Schneider. And right off the bat, I'm liking the look of Ashton. He's got the 16 checking, 14 getting open, 14 passing. Unfortunately, though, under his strengths and weaknesses, it says players like him tend to make the coach's job a lot more difficult. So I think I'll stay away from him. And with this next pick, we'll be taking Simon Novak, who's a 2-star potential, 14 puck handling, 15 offensive read. Strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability, good ability to read the play, and he can handle a lot of playing time. The weakest part of his game is his physical play, but that's all right. Nobody's perfect at this point of the draft, so let's take him. Welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, and then on to round number 7 at pick number 206. I think with this last pick, I'll be taking Mikhailo Staritsky. He's the half-star ability, 2-star potential, but according to the scout, he has a lot of strengths here. Strongest part of his game is his playmaking ability. His skating ability is a positive. His physical strength is above average. He has decent on-ice vision, pretty good physical shape, and doesn't wear down quickly. The weakest part of his game is his physical play, but that's all right. So Mikhailo Staritsky, welcome to the Cocytus River Rats, and that'll just about do it for this draft. And as we currently have 47 players under contract, I'm not going to be signing any of these guys who we just drafted. So I'm just going to let guys like Tyson Orr and Blake Baxter develop in their current leagues. And inducted to the Hockey Hall of Fame this year are Bobby Smith, Joe Pavelski, Chris Osgood, and Theo Fleury. And here's the Prospects Tournament. We won 3 out of 4 games, not bad. We had a 4-3 win over Minnesota with goals by Neuenschwander, Brown, Pellizzari, and Andreev. Then you have a 5-4 loss to Seattle with goals by Pellizzari, Barton, Larson, and Barton again shorthanded. Then you have a 5-1 win against Vancouver with goals by Frank, Neuenschwander again, and then Brown and Andreev on the power play. And then you have a 3-0 win over San Jose with goals by Brown, Neuenschwander, and Andreev. Wow, look at Andreev's growth. He's at 2-star ability, 5-star potential now. Look at all that growth for Roman Andreev. He's looking like he could be really good. All right, now let's make some cuts here. So we're going to roll with Frolov and Kadachev in goal. On defense, you have, what is that, 8? I think I'm going to cut Perbix. Not renew contract. All right, well, he wants to text the market anyways, so I guess we'll send him down to Frozen Creek for right now. So that's 7 defensemen. Then at forward, you have a lot of forwards. Okay, so we got to cut some of these guys down here. All right, I've made all the necessary cuts, and this is going to be our roster going into year number 6. You have Frolov and Kadachev in goal. On defense, you have Bouchard, Kotijarvi, Välimäki, Pellizzari, Romanov, Elofsson, and Hakanson. And at forward, you had McKenna, Vananen, Novak, Brown, Murnieks, Stenberg, Colton, Hermanson, Kindell, Anisimowicz, Denoye, Andreev, Neuenschwander, and Spelkvist. But before we advance, we actually do need to fill out some of the salary here, as we're only at 51 million in salary cap. We need minimum of 65 million. So we're gonna have to go out to free agency here and sign a veteran. And I think that will be Keith Kincaid. Why not? So I'll just give him 20 million for 1 year. And then, of course, I will send him down to the AHL. And our salary cap is currently at 69 million. Perfect. And so with that being done, let's start the simulation for year number 6. All right, need a new alternate. I think for now, that's going to be Bouchard. Oh, yeah, and Wotherspoon was on the injury list. And now that he's not on the injury list, we're going to have to decide what to do with him. So that being said, I think I'm going to send down Novak. And then I'll put Wotherspoon on the active roster. Gavin McKenna converts to center. Why? We have so many centers. It's not necessary. Ooh. First major injury of the year. Caleb Denoye down with an indefinite injury. He is done for the season. All right, we're on March 1st, right before the trade deadline. We are 33, 29, and 5. That is good enough for 7th in the division. And the league, we are 18th. So we're right there. We are 2 points out of a playoff spot right now. So we do have a chance this year. But what I want to focus on here at this moment is contract extensions, because you have a few big ones here in Bouchard, Vananen, and Stenberg. Bouchard's up to a 4-star ability now. He has 43 points on the season currently. He wants 4.8 for 6 years. I will absolutely do that. And I got him for 4.44 for 6 years. And then Vananen wants 4.4 for 5 years. I will do that. And I got him down to 4.19 for 5 years. And then Stenberg, what do you want? He wants 4 mil for 3 years. We'll do that. And I got him down to 3.8 for 3 years. And then next you have Elofsson, who's at 3-star ability right now. That's 3.4 for 6 years. A lot of these guys want long-term deals here. And we get Elofsson for 3.21 for 6 years. And then Kotijarvi, I also want to re-sign you. 3.6 for 3 years. Then you have Kindell and Denoye. Kindell wants 1.4 for 3 years. And Denoye, he wants 3.7 for 4 years. And then there's also Kadachev, who's got the 4.5-star potential, so definitely re-signing him as well. Then I guess I'll sign some of these depth guys as well. Gastrin, Romano, Murnieks, and Hakanson. All right, here we are at the end of the regular season of year number 6. We have finished 41, 35, and 6. Which was good enough for 8th in the Beings division and 19th in the league. So this is by far our best season yet. We didn't make the playoffs, but we were pretty close. Only 2 points out from San Jose. Pretty good season, all things considered. So now let's get a look at the player stats here. In 50 games played for Frolov, he has a .921 save percentage and 3 shutouts. Goals saved above average of 16.67. And then Kadachev in 36 games played has a .920 save percentage, 2 shutouts, and 11.79 goals saved above average. Very solid from both of them. Love to see it. a 2-star talent and a 1.5-star talent, absolutely tearing up the league. On defense, you have Aiden Bouchard leading the way with 53 points. Then you have Elofsson with 37, Pelizari with 35, Kotijarvi with 34, Romanov with 31, Hakansen with 10, and Valimaki with 7. At forward, you have Vananen leading the point scoring for the team this year with 60 points in 80 games played. Then you have Gavin McKenna with 53, Stenberg with 50, Spelquist with 39, Anisimowicz with 37, Brown and Hermanson with 35, Andreev with 30, Denoye with 29, Neuenschwander with 27, Colton with 23, Kindell with 22, Wotherspoon with 10, Novak with 1, and Murdiux with nothing in 33 games. The fact that we were almost in a playoff spot when we didn't have anyone with over 60 points speaks a lot to our goaltending with Frolov and Katachev with how good they were. We definitely still have to work on improving our offense, but I think we're getting there. It seems like we are definitely on the right track. And I think next year should be the point where we start consistently making the playoffs, you know? Because the foundation for a good team is there, right? You got 2 solid goaltenders. You have a nice future on defense led by Bouchard. And then you have a lot of depth at forward, which is capped off, of course, by Gavin McKenna. So I would like to believe that this team next year will be able to make the playoffs. And actually, let's take a look at the team stats since we were, relatively actually competitive this year. Goals for per game, we were 22nd in the league with a 2.89. Goals against per game, we were 6th in the league with a 2.74. And faceoffs, we were 4th in the league with a 51.6. Power play, we were, dead last in the league with a 14.6. That's not good. And then penalty kill, we were 5th in the league with an 83.9. So offense obviously was a bit of an issue, but like I said, I think this team has a bright future ahead. But until that time, we're just gonna have to watch and see what happens in the playoffs, and I suppose we will see who wins the Stanley Cup in year number 6. And your 2029-30 Stanley Cup champions for the 2nd year in a row are the Montreal Canadiens. They went through Utah, Buffalo, Vancouver, and Ottawa. And now it's time for the NHL awards. For the Ted Lindsay and the Art Ross, you have Connor McDavid, who had 33 goals, 77 assists for 110 points this year. Then for the Maurice Richard, it is Mason St. Louis of Buffalo, with 46 goals in his first NHL season. Wow. and 33 assists for 79 points. It would not surprise me if he won the Calder Trophy. For the Lady Byng, it is Clayton Keller of Utah with 38 goals, 53 assists for the 91-point season. For the Bill Masterton is Mackenzie Weegar of Calgary with a 26-point season. For the Mark Messier Leadership Award is Nikita Artamonov of Carolina, who is not Carolina's captain. 16 goals, 22 assists for 38 points. And then you have for the Jennings Trophy, Stuart Skinner of Ottawa with a .902 save percentage in 44 games played. Now for the heart between Connor McDavid, Logan Cooley, and Kirill Kaprizov, it is Connor McDavid. For the Conn Smythe, it is Ivan Demidov of Montreal with 22 points in 24 games played. For the Calder between Lee Shergo, Mikhail Von Drake, and Mason St. Louis, it's gotta be St. Louis, right? Yep, Mason St. Louis of Buffalo with a 79-point season. For the Norris between Zach Werenski, Aiden Bouchard, and Lane Hudson, it is Aiden Bouchard of your Cocytus River Rats. Very nice. For the Selkie between Fabian Zetterlund, Nick Suzuki, and Wyatt Johnston, it is Fabian Zetterlund of Colorado with 55 points. For the Vezina between Dustin Wolf, Talon Boyko, and Daniil Tarasov, it is Daniil Tarasov of Columbus with a .922 save percentage and 10 shutouts in 68 games played. For the GM of the Year between Steve Stais, Scott Gomez, and Ville Siren, it is Ville Siren of Columbus. And for the Jack Adams between Mark Stewart, JT Podell, and Travis Green, it is Travis Green of Ottawa. So with year number 6 in the books, I think it's about time to wrap this one up here. But not before, of course, I thank the channel members. Thank you guys so much for all your support. And I'll see you guys in the next one.